Hi everyone, how's everyone doing here today? Just wanted to say thank you for watching, and today I wanted to talk briefly about cultural issues, which we've been hearing a lot on and off on the news for the past few years. Nothing too new. I mean, one of the big, more recent alleged scandals that's going on here is with M&Ms, which I talked briefly about in a previous video, specifically on Fox. Tucker Carlson, of all people, no big surprise there. He has issues with how they've dressed in the past, and now lately they've come out with a new wrapping with the purple M&M that is a more feminine character, supposedly, a gay character, stuff like that. They don't like the fact that they're assigning genders and orientations to some of the M&Ms. That it's considered woke, and one Republican by the name of Nick Adams also had issues with it, where he had the candy actually boycotted. As ridiculous as that sounds. Let me go through some of the other cultural issues we've heard in the past. Some recent, some not so recent. One of them was with Mr. Potato Head, where they decided to change the name to just Potato Head. Okay, they wanted to keep the specific male gender, prefix out of it, so they just called it, just a general Potato Head. There was also when certain books by Dr. Seuss were banned because they showed certain Chinese characters, which they thought might be offensive to Chinese or members of the Asian community. And also, one recent one was the American Girl doll. One person, who was white of course, couldn't find one for his white 6-year-old daughter, which is kind of odd. He called it wokeified. That was the word he used. There's no such word, of course, but you get the idea. The whole term woke, as I also discussed in a previous video, has become this dog whistle now. Anything you're against or you hate, just call it woke. Eventually, there was too much diversity in the American Girl dolls for him. I sissied out if his daughter had an issue with it, because from what I also heard is that these dolls can be customized. You can pretty much get it any type of doll that you want, from hairstyle, skin color, even the type of dress, supposedly. So what's the big deal? And another recent one was when they cast Halle Berry in The Little Mermaid. People didn't like that Ariel was shown as a person of color. God forbid. This whole cultural issue, primarily, when it pertains to wokeness, it deals with fixation issues against LGBTs, trans, and, people of color, different races and stuff like that. And here's my whole conclusion about all these cultural issues collectively. Who the hell cares? Who cares, deep down? I only see it primarily from people from the right, mostly people on Fox, where they just complain and bicker about some small issue that does not amount to a hill of beans in this world. With all the other issues going on, you would think they would be more focused on that. But no, to them, things like M&M's, Mr. Potato Head, and Dr. Seuss is real news. To put it in also perspective, Dr. Seuss, when they announced that they were canceling some books, I don't know which titles they canceled, but one, that is done through the publishing company, a private company. It has nothing to do with the government. And yet, back then, when he wasn't Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy felt the need to read green eggs and ham in Congress, because that is just such a serious issue. No big surprise, given the liar and imbecile that he is. Of course he has to focus on stuff like that. Why? Because it deviates away from the real issue, and that's the whole point. It's just a distraction. You know what problems I am worried about? Things like healthcare. Things like increasing the minimum wage. About, all people are being treated equally. Less political violence. Infrastructure. Those are like the issues that I like to focus on, because to me, that can really have an impact on people's lives. Not M&Ms, not books by Dr. Seuss, not The Little Mermaid, and not any other cultural issue you can think of. Again, it is all a distraction. And if you're somebody that really focuses on this stuff, well, allow me to break it down for you. And I'm being perfectly serious. Here's the thing about M&Ms. It doesn't make you woke if it's all a marketing thing. As I mentioned in the previous video, do they really care about this stuff? No, I think they're just doing it to sell their product. And evidently it's kind of working. M&Ms aren't going anywhere. I like to eat them. It's still a tasty candy. And guess what? I'm straight, so eat all the M&Ms you want. And if the marketing really bothers you that much, well, guess what? You don't have to buy it if you don't want to. Mr. Potato Head. Well, you could either do one or two things. You could go on eBay and you could buy an original Mr. Potato Head. I'm sure the prices vary, but I guarantee you could find it and you could save it and pass it on to your children and to your future grandchildren if you don't have any, and they can send it down to future generations, and the whole Mr. Potato Head is restored. You don't have to worry. And worst case scenario, if you can't find one, just buy a potato head and do the Trump method. Just get a black Sharpie and write the little MR right on top of it. Kids won't know the difference, and if they do, they won't care. The only person that would care is you. Same thing with Dr. Seuss, you know? I don't know which titles they banned, but obviously they're not permanently gone. Just like with Mr. Potato Head. You can go on eBay, and I'm willing to bet you could find those banned titles and easily buy them. And guess what? Your Dr. Seuss is restored. Dr. Seuss was around years before my time, years before you, and it'll continue to be around for years later. So even if these books never see the light of day, guess what? I'm sure you could still be at peace knowing that Green Eggs and Ham will still be read to children of future generations to come. Same thing with The Little Mermaid. What? You don't like the fact that they casted Halle Berry, a person of color? So what? That would only seem to bother you if you were racist. Are you not racist? Because if you're not, it shouldn't make a difference. But racist or not, here's the thing. You don't have to watch the movie if you don't want to. You can go to the Disney version, and prior to that, there are other animated versions that you can watch for YouTube on free. Ariel's perfectly white, and you can be perfectly content with a white Ariel. If Hans Christian Andersen were alive today, quite frankly, I don't think he would give a damn. So, like I said, you know, if you see these things on Fox, I would just switch the channel. If you decide to watch it, that's your choice. But don't be distracted by it. Don't get swept up in nonsense from people like Tucker Carlson and, you know, any other politician. Even if it was on the left, somebody in the DNC, though, was whining about stuff like this. My reaction would still be the same. Who the hell cares? Nobody cares except you and a small handful. You can still go out and buy M&Ms and enjoy your books and other things and focus on the real issues in life. Those are the things that matter, not cultural issues. But by all means, you know, moan and groan about the M&Ms all you want. You're going to find you're in a very small group that nobody, for the most part, nobody gives a damn about. And I say that respectfully, of course. The choice is yours. Focus on the real problems, please, because those are the ones that matter, that can make a difference in all lives across the country. So, it's getting a little windy out here, so I'm going to cut this off. I just want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you understand.